Hey guys, it's me Trevis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is what we're locking in today. Now, what we did for the past two shows is we focused on NBA because I wanted to do a final NBA show before the NBA season expired for many months. Thought it was going to be a sweep, so we did it on Friday. Mavericks crushed them, and then of course we did it yesterday, and yeah, the NBA season ended with the Celtics winning the series in the finals 4-1. I haven't done at all this season because I know PlayerProps.ai is relatively new, but I haven't done an NHL show. I've had a few or a handful of NHL fans in the YouTube comments asking like, "Hey, when NHL comes back next year, are you going to be doing something for that?" So for you guys, because this probably is going to be the last day of the NHL season, I don't see Edmonton outscoring the Panthers on this one. Let's go ahead and do an NHL show for you kids. Let's go ahead and do that. If this is your first time tuning in because we're doing NHL or because it's just the first time you've had exposure to the PlayerProps.ai YouTube channel or the brand itself, welcome. There are a few things you need to do that are free that will help you lose less often. Those free things are what we call the bare minimum. Numero uno. You need to click the subscribe button on this channel and click the bell so you get notified every time that we go live or anytime we drop a video like we're doing right now. Number two, you go to playerprops.ai in your favorite browser. As you see by the scrolling text on the bottom, you simply go to your favorite browser, whether it's Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari, it doesn't matter. You simply go to the bar and you type in playerprops.ai to send you to this website. You then go ahead, you create a free account. Then after that, click on Discord. If you're on your desktop, it's on the top. If you're on your phone, it's on the bottom. Click on Discord, join our Discord server, and also follow the steps to sync your account. There is still, for whatever reason, there's still so many people clicking Discord and not syncing their account. And they're like, Trevis, where's all the channels at? There's literally a channel that says gain access. It has step-by-step on how you sync your account, your Discord account, to your PlayerProps.ai account, and that is what unlocks all of those free channels. So you have to do that part. If you skip that part, I don't know what to tell you. I've told you a million times. That's a bare minimum. But now, let's go ahead and see if we can find some sexy plays for NHL and what I believe will be the last game of the season tonight. Let's see what we can find. You can't see it on the screen right now. I know I'm wearing my New York Liberty hat because the Liberty are playing tonight, but I'm rocking the my Vegas Golden Knights swag. I am a day one Vegas Golden Knights fan for a handful of reasons, and I'm glad that we were able to get a championship super early into our franchise last season. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. The two stats that I like the best. I'm not a huge NHL props fan, but the two stats I like the best are shots on goal and saves. Maybe even goals allowed. Well, look at those two. But shots on goal, this is one of the free stats you get on the site, so I know everybody has full access to this, whether you're premium or not. But what you need to know is, I think I mentioned this on yesterday's episode. I mentioned this a lot. I think yesterday because we were talking about NBA points. Just because they have a 3.5 points line does not mean you go after the smaller lines because your brain goes, well, they only have to score 4 points to hit, and that's easier than somebody having a 15.5 points line of hitting. That's not the right mindset because there's a reason that their lines are so small. So when you come to this and you see, okay, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he's got a 1.5 line. Oh, Leon's got a 2.5 line. So Ryan can hit his line easier or more easily. That's not how it works. There's a reason he's got a 2.5 line because he's constantly getting shots on goal. So don't just go for the smaller line. Something else that I think I'm probably going to have to make a video on for this weekend, like a non-episode, but a helpful video, is I've mentioned this a million times in the Discord, so make sure you're in there because I drop a lot of helpful nuggets on the daily at this point. There's a lot of people that are alting the line. So let's just use NBA for example. I know the season just ended, but let's say somebody's line is 25.5 points. Our projection has them at 23 points, which is less than their line. What I've seen a few people doing is that they'll alt the line down and they'll do per player A to score 20 plus points. Because like, oh, the projection AI says he's going to score 23, so I'll just move it down to 20, and I'll do that. And that's not how you use this data. I understand that. I understand the mindset of why somebody went to that, but you have to understand that our AI, if the line is 25.5 points and the AI is saying he's going to get 23, what is the AI telling you? It's telling you that that player is going to underperform. So that's how you need to use this data, this AI. You're simply looking at the projection, looking at the line. Is the AI saying they're going to overperform, which means the projection is higher than the line, or they're going to underperform, which means the projection is lower than the line? If they're going to underperform, why would you do any prop going over? Yes, sure, you move it to 20 plus, and your brain goes, well, if his projection is 23, oh, you only need to get 20 to hit. No, the AI is telling you they're going to underperform. So why in the world would you go over on a prop that the AI is literally telling you they're going to underperform on? If anything, you alter the opposite direction. Instead of going over 20 plus in this 25.5 line thing, you can move it to 29 or 30 and have them go under 30 points. And that makes more sense because, again, the AI is telling you they're going to underperform. So just if you want to move that line in your favor, then move it higher and still go under. So again, this works. This is the same thing, not just for NBA, this is for everything. If PlayerProps.ai says the player's going to underperform, there's no reason you should be going over on that prop. I don't care how low you make the line, unless it's some crazy giveaway that it's like, if the line's like 22.5 and they're like, okay, for this one day they have to score 1 point to hit, sure. Like the free squares, that's different. But if you're altering the line when the AI says it's going to underperform and then they lose because they don't even hit that lower line, well, the AI told you they're going to underperform. So there's a little story time with Trevis. That's going to be turned into a video. We'll make a whole video about that probably this weekend and put that up on the YouTube as well. But that is something that I actually, I'm going to make a note of that right now so I don't forget about it. I have to make a little note. There. Okay. That's what we're going to be working on this weekend. So again, going to shots on goal here. Because these teams have already versed already had 4 games versing each other, I like looking at just the last 4 games because it's the playoffs. That's the 4 games that verse each other. There's a lot to pull from that. So if we look at Leon here, whose line is 2.5, the sportsbooks give him a 57.45% chance of hitting. The AI says he's going to get 4.27, which is a nice plus 72. For this number here, I believe the number we're looking for is plus 45 or higher. I think that's what we settled on. Maybe plus 50 or higher. But the fact that he's plus 72 and he's on Edmonton, which this is an elimination game like last time was. The last time they had an elimination game, he had 3. Another elimination game. AI's on his side. And, I mean, also, I know we're only pay attention to the last 4, but as you see here, I mean, this is a number he's hitting consistently. So right off the bat, we can say, okay, let's look at a Leon over 2.5 shots on goal. The only time in this series he didn't get it was the second game, which they lost anyway. So he's the only person that, well, so Ryan, I didn't mean to click on him again. I think I've looked at him a handful of times in this series, but yeah, like, I don't for shots on goal, if I look at their last 10, let me pull up this graph a little bit higher here. If I look at their last 10 and they have 1, 2, 3, 4 games where they literally have 0 shots on goal, I don't like it. Sure, he had 4 in the last game, but remember, this last game was a massive blowout. They were annihilated. Or no, sorry, Edmonton annihilated Florida. It was a massive blowout, which means people get more ice time that they normally don't get ice time. So it's the same thing in NBA. There's more minutes on the court if there's a blowout either direction. So this is kind of a fluke scenario. I don't see Edmonton winning 1,000-1 like they did in the last game. And besides that, he only hit this once here. Yeah, like this guy doesn't get enough shots in close games for me to want to do that at all. But so far we like Leon. So we go to Vladimir. who has a really high percentage chance to hit based on the sports books. So this is, remember, the implied is based on the odds. And who gives us the odds? The sports books do. So the sports books say that Vladimir's got almost a 65% chance to hit this prop. He has hit this every game of this series. He has hit this 80% of his games in the last 10. He only missed on these 2 New York Rangers plays where he just hooked. He still got 1 shot off. So as I mentioned before, I don't like Nugent because I said his name right? Nugent? Yeah, Nugent Hopkins. I don't like him because he had a lot of games where he didn't get any, but this guy hasn't had any games where he didn't have any, and he's got the highest implied chance out of, I keep trying to highlight this and clicking on it. He's got the highest implied chance out of literally anybody here. So I know I said shots on goal and saves are my favorite. I'm going to peep this real quick. Yeah, so Sergey, the sportsbooks are favoring his under, and the projections also favoring his under. And if you look at his, so he needs 25.5, and he's only gotten that 3 times in the last 10 games. I know, so Edmonton destroyed him on the last game where he only had 11 saves. So if they're going to win the Cup tonight, I would assume that he's going to have one of these 32 save performances. Edmonton's just going to go nuts and put a lot of shots on him. But they also won this game, and they only had 18 shots. So you can lock in Bob if you want to for the under 25.5 saves. But the 2 that we're focusing on are the 2 we've already highlighted. Leon over 2.5 of Edmonton, and then Vladimir over 1.5 of Florida. So yeah, that's our very first NHL show. It might be, well, assuming Florida wins tonight, it'll be our last one of the season. If you want full access to the site, I know I mention this on every video, but there's more than likely we're growing at an exponential rate on this YouTube channel. Like I said, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. But if you want to get full access to PlayerProps.ai, 100% free, it doesn't cost you a single penny. It's possible. There's a video that pops up here. Just watch that video. It goes step by step on how to get free access to everything that we do. And yeah, just watch that and lock it in. And after, if I'm assuming Florida wins, and if they win, I'm going to post a picture in the Discord and then probably on the YouTube wall of a pretty nice, sexy futures parlay I have that is going to win a whole lot of money if it hits. It doesn't need, it needs Florida, but it doesn't need, it needs a few more things to hit besides that. So it's not like if Florida hits, I win $1 trillion. There's a few other things, but Florida's one of them, winning the Stanley Cup. Lock it in. Good luck. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.